Welcome to Buzz on Veterans, brought to you by Operation Barnabas. I'm Chris Budihas, your host. And what we're trying to do here in these sessions is spotlight those veterans in our community, what they're doing with their service previously and what they're doing in their post-military career. Today I have Andy Hestermann from Hestermann Motorwerks over there in Green Cove Springs. So Andy, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me, sir.
Yeah, no, it's good to see you. So, hey, tell us a little bit about you. Like, where you're from, what you do in the military, and what are you doing now? What kind of skills and what you're doing now with your company?
Kind of jump around a little bit, but yeah. I'll start with grew up in California. Don't hold it against me.
I was born there too, so don't hold it against me
either. Beautiful state, great stuff. But anyway, went to the Marine Corps Reserves, did a little bit of active duty time.
Yeah.
Here and there, Desert Storm, as we were talking before.
Right.
Got my degree, started at a community college, and then went to Cal Poly down in Pomona.
Okay.
Not the big one in SLO.
Yep.
Commissioned, Huey pilot, and then did various tours. Did Air Officer with 7th Marines,
yeah,
got to do MOI and some various other stuff.
Yeah, and you were 7th Marines probably during the height of fighting in
Fallujah
Iraq.
was our big one.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I remember that, and with my former Marine time, all the guys that were over there at the time, it was just a pretty brutal fight. So thanks for what you did. Thanks for your service.
You too.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. Thanks. So tell me what you're doing, and how'd you make that journey from being a Marine officer into now being the owner of your company?
It's not the usual path, but it's finding making a job out of what you love.
Yeah.
And I will throw a warning, or a caution, not a warning, a caution out there. Yeah. Everybody will tell you as you're working on transition or graduating high school, graduating college, whatever, follow your dream, find your passion.
Yeah.
A caution in that is when you do that, you can turn your passion into a job.
Right.
So I do caution people to be careful, but I was very fortunate that I can pay the bills with my passion.
That's huge.
So I did a couple other jobs, actually sort of as research. I worked at a small engine repair, jet ski, motorcycle, ATV shop, examined his model. And it was homework, but it was also paying the bills because I wasn't ready to go full out just yet.
Yeah.
And on the side, I'm kind of growing my idea of what Hestermann Motorwerks is going to be. And I worked for another gentleman. I did that for 2 years or so. Opportunity came up with FEMA, and I worked as a FEMA inspector when we had 3 or 4 severe hurricanes. So I spent about a year kind of sort of deployed down in Miami and in Houston area doing inspections on damage and stuff. Figured out after a year that really wasn't where I wanted to go. That's a whole nother story. We don't have time for that one. Came back from that, did some home improvement stuff. I have always been a tinkerer, both building on houses and on vehicles and pretty much anything. And it's funny how many people have brought up, hey, I knew him in the Marine Corps whenever through the years. You always told me that you were going to find a job tinkering, and it looks like you did it.
Yeah.
And I did.
That's good.
And it worked out pretty well.
So with your company, I mean, it looks like you're doing customization of, what's your expertise there?
Yeah, it has evolved. It started out pretty much just customizing whatever I could get my hands on, and it kind of started with, Craigslist, Marketplace, the want ads, whatever, buy a burnout whatever motorcycle and get it running again, and then kind of trick it out a little bit and make it, because I always got to try to make it a little bit cooler than it was.
Right.
That's how it started. Got involved with this other company, Smith Performance, that does a kit to turn vehicles into a pickup. Technically it's a ute, but we don't need that discussion right now.
Yeah.
And I kind of hitched my wagon to his train, and it's been great. Love the company, love the guy.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of other companies to his credit too.
Yeah.
I could spend hours talking about that. But basically, you take a VW Beetle, the new water-cooled ones, not the old air coolers from the 70s, and you cut the back half off it. And originally, I did a couple because I wanted them. I think it's a really cool vehicle, and then people wanted to buy it from me.
That's
so
awesome.
Okay, well, make another one. And there is a market for this. An amazing number of my customers are former car guys.
Okay.
And by the way, totally by happy coincidence, the car guy community and the veteran community has a huge crossover.
Yeah.
So I've been very fortunate to kind of combine those two communities and stay active doing one but involved with the other,
Yeah.
and then flip-flop.
That's great. So if people want to take a look at the Hestermann Motorwerks, how do they find you?
Pretty much any of the social media. I have a lot of videos on YouTube, and that's sort of a side gig, part of the Hestermann Motorwerks, how-to videos and
Okay.
entertainment videos, mostly car-oriented. Of course, Facebook and Instagram, and a website, Hestermann Motorwerks.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
.com.
Yeah, last question for you. So you wrote a book.
So,
Your book's
yeah,
been out
this is-
for about
this
2
is-
years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is my big one. Totally unrelated to Hestermann Motorwerks, but the mentality carries over. So, as you asked me before, I was a radio man originally, and then got to transition into Anglico for Desert Storm, which was an awesome experience. So the book is the answer to how many people ask me, so you were in the Marine Corps, what'd you do?
Yeah.
What was it like? Well, how much time do you have?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the premise of the book.
Awesome.
Not necessarily a lessons learned, more just, hey, here's what I did and the opportunities I had and the cool people that I got to work with. Then, hey, here's what I learned.
Right. Well, Andy, thanks for coming out today. Thanks for your service.
Thank
Semper Fi. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, hey, take a look at Andy and his team at Hestermann Motorwerks. So, hey, thanks again for Operation Barnabas for sponsoring this session. A lot of great things happening out there, helping our veterans get back on their feet in the society where they want to be and where they're thriving. So, again, folks, look forward to seeing you next time.
Operation Barnabas is a veterans ministry, started in 2017 with the purpose of helping our veterans that kind of got left behind, and they've struggled with addictions, PTSD, suicidal thoughts, those kind of things, helping them get whole again through one-to-one mentorship.
Being able to communicate with them and help them can drastically change their life, can drastically change a family's life. The little that we can do is put our hand out and say, hey, do you want a hand up?